Sharon, a single mother, was blessed with twins, a boy and a girl. Life as a single mum was tough, and she knew she had to make a heart-wrenching decision. She named her son Jack and her daughter Gina. With a heavy heart, Sharon decided to put Jack up for adoption, hoping it would provide him with a better life. As the years went by, Sharon and Gina formed an unbreakable bond. They shared laughter, tears, and countless memories together. When Gina grew older, she left for college, where her life took an unexpected turn. She met a young man named Shane, and they studied together, went out on dates, and eventually fell in love. The moment of revelation came during a college party, one evening when Gina and her friends were sharing stories. Gina excitedly shared, "You won't believe it, guys. Shane and I share the same birthday." Her friends were amazed, and one of them chimed in, "That's incredible. You know, my aunt and uncle also share the same birthday. It's such a rare coincidence." They all laughed it off, thinking it was just a delightful twist of fate. Several years flew by, and Gina and Shane both graduated. They decided to move in together, excited about the new chapter in their lives. Sharon was happy for them. She really liked Shane, and now again she would catch a plane to stay with them for a few days. One day, Sharon received an unexpected letter in the mail. It was from Jack's adoptive parents. They expressed their gratitude and wanted to thank her for the decision she made all those years ago. They explained that they called their son Shane, now 25 years old. He's happy and has a lovely girlfriend. Lately, he's been asking about wanting to find out about his biological mother and father and would love to meet them. Here are some photos of him in different age groups. As Sharon gazed at the photos, her heart skipped a beat. It was a picture of her daughter's boyfriend, Shane. She was utterly shocked by the revelation. Just then the phone rang, and Gina's voice, filled with excitement, said that Shane had proposed and they were now engaged. Sharon's mouth dropped. She went totally pale, one shock after the other. She tried very hard to keep her composure and acted really excited for them. She congratulated them and then ended the call. She started to hyperventilate. She sat down, then cried her eyes out, thinking what a predicament she was in. Shane was her son. Wow, what a wonderful young man he had become. But he was in love with her daughter, and they were engaged to be married. How on earth am I going to tell them? She knew that the time had come to confront the truth, a truth that had remained hidden for far too long. Shane was her son, and the love he shared with Gina was built on a foundation of secrets that could no longer be contained. In the days that followed, Sharon grappled with how to approach this delicate matter. She knew it would be a profound shock to both Gina and Shane, but she also believed that honesty was the only path forward. She decided to confide in a close friend, Mary, who had always been a source of wisdom and support. Mary listened empathetically as Sharon poured out her heart, explaining the extraordinary twist of fate that had brought Shane into Gina's life. Mary nodded thoughtfully and offered her guidance. "Sharon, this is undoubtedly a challenging situation, but it's one that needs to be handled with care and love. You should consider seeking professional advice, perhaps a family therapist, to help navigate this complex revelation." Taking Mary's advice to heart, Sharon decided to find a qualified family therapist who could provide guidance on how to reveal the truth to Gina and Shane in a way that would minimize the emotional impact. After several meetings with the therapist, they developed a plan together. One evening, with her heart pounding, Sharon, who had flown over to see Gina and Shane, sat down in their cozy living room. She began by telling them the story of her past, about the twins she had brought into the world, Jack and Gina. The room was filled with tension as she revealed the truth about Jack's adoption and how he had grown up to become the man they both knew and loved as Shane. As the words left her lips, the expressions on Gina and Shane's faces shifted from confusion to shock. Gina sat there, stunned and speechless, unable to comprehend the enormity of what she had just heard. Her eyes welled up with tears as her world seemed to shatter around her. She had never known she had a twin brother, let alone that he was the man she loved and was engaged to marry. Shane, equally shocked and overwhelmed, looked from Gina to Sharon, struggling to find the right words to express the torrent of emotions coursing through him. The woman he had fallen in love with was also his biological sister, and Sharon was actually his biological mother. The weight of this revelation bore down on him like a heavy, tormenting burden. The therapist, a calm and compassionate presence in the room, played a crucial role in helping Gina and Shane process this life-altering news. With expertise in family dynamics and relationships, the therapist encouraged both Gina and Shane to express their feelings openly, creating a safe space for them to vent their shock, anger, and confusion. Gina wept as she grappled with the idea that the man she had planned to marry was, in fact, her brother. Shane, too, was deeply affected, struggling to reconcile the love he felt for Gina with the newfound knowledge of their shared blood. Throughout several therapy sessions, the therapist helped them navigate the complex emotions they were experiencing. They explored the deep love and connection they shared, acknowledging that it had developed authentically, driven by their genuine affection for each other. The therapist also helped them understand that their love could evolve into a different kind of bond, one grounded in the sibling relationship they now share. After a few weeks of therapy, Gina and Shane approached the therapist with a request to include their mother, Sharon, in one of their sessions. The therapist agreed, understanding that it was a significant step in their journey of healing and transformation. On the day of the session, nerves were palpable in the room. Gina and Shane had hardly slept the night before, their faces etched with anxiety and anticipation. Sharon, too, looked anxious, unsure of what awaited her in this deeply emotional gathering. As they all settled in, the therapist began the session, creating a space for open and honest communication. After a prolonged silence, Gina finally gathered the courage to speak. Her voice quivered as she confessed, "Mum, Shane and I have something to tell you." She exchanged a nervous glance with Shane, whose hand she held tightly. Sharon's eyes widened, her heart racing as she braced herself for what her children were about to reveal. Her thoughts raced, considering the countless possibilities of what they might say. Gina took a deep breath and continued, "I'm pregnant." The therapist and Sharon sat in stunned silence, their minds racing to process this unexpected news. The room seemed to close in around them as the implications of this revelation hung heavy in the air. Amid the uncertainty, one question lingered in the minds of everyone in the room. What should they do next? If you enjoyed this story, then I know you will enjoy the story about a sweet librarian who comes across a chilling cold case of her childhood friend who disappeared when they were both children. She decides to find out what happened, which leads to a shocking discovery. It's a great story. Until next time, bye for now.